Hey y'all, it's Kim. So, of course, with all the drama with these cabinet nominations for Trump, uh, I, I'm just like, okay. So, Matt Gaetz decided to step away. Somebody else had reported that, I guess, kind of what he was doing was almost ferreting out those that would oppose Trump for any cabinet nomination he was going to have. I don't know how true that is. It doesn't surprise me. It could have been like a trickery thing. Who knows? Just to see. And then, of course, I don't know. Matt Gaetz may do something else. Who knows? But now, Pete Hegseth, obviously, I went through the police report after Megyn Kelly posted on hers, but she didn't have the full thing while we read through it, but she was reading it off. But I wanted to see kind of what was in there. But anyway, now today, or maybe it was yesterday, who knows? She sat down with him and was addressing some of this excessive drinking and stuff like that. He talked about, when his mom went on to Fox News and just kind of going through some of it, just talking about what happened in the email and how I guess it was the New York Times maybe that got a hold of it. Anyway, um, my thing is, even like with Trump, whatever is alleged against him, it really doesn't matter to me because I know what his record is as far as running the country. I'm not asking him to be my spiritual leader. I'm not asking him to be my personal savior. I'm not asking him to be my husband. I'm not asking him to be my friend. I'm not asking for anything close knit, intimate relationship in any way where he directly affects me. I'm asking him to run the country. Just like Pete Hegseth, you're just asking him to get the Pentagon under control. Secretary of Defense, that's it. So whatever's going on in somebody's personal life, as long as it does not come over into the workplace, and he's not, I'm just saying, if we're gonna throw out people throwing out sexual allegations or sexual harassment, whatever, as long as that is not in the workplace and he's being professional with the men and the women across the board, whoever he's working with, fine. I have no problem with that. I mean, you know, whatever we're fixing to watch just a few minutes of this and then I'll link the entire episode and that way you can go back and watch it. I just don't want to get dinged for damn copyright stuff. But, I mean, whatever somebody's doing in their personal life until it actually comes into the workplace, fine. You know what I mean? We had a situation the other day at my job, and is an older gentleman. You can smell it on him that he drinks a lot. I mean, unfortunately, they had to let him go because he got hurt at work. But this has been like, I've been there a year and I know he's been drinking way longer than that. So, whatever, do whatever you want outside of the workplace, but once you bring it into the workplace, that's where the problem lies. So, back to Pete Hegseth. If the allegations of all this stuff are true, which I don't think they are, even reading through the police report and all that stuff, I don't think it's true. I really don't. I think it's just a lady that got caught up in something and then she decided to backtrack and say it was sexual assault or whatever just to keep from getting in trouble. Because, I mean, just some of the things that were in the report just don't make sense. Um, anyway, just saying. And, if somebody's drinking, because I think, I don't know where I heard it, because I watched so many videos throughout the day. It was something about when he was working at Fox that there were people, like 10 different people, former and maybe even current, that were saying that he had some type of problem with drinking. But then you listen to other people and they say, no, we never saw anything like that. I mean, he might have had coffee before and I mean, whatever, you know what I mean? Who knows? Who really knows in people's personal life? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. You know, just don't bring it into the workplace. You can get snot slinging drunk if you want, as long as it doesn't come into the workplace. I mean, obviously, sometimes it'll change your personality if you're constantly drinking. But anyway, I'm just going to let him speak for himself. Like I said, he's not there to be your buddy, just like Donald Trump's not there to be your buddy. He's there to run the country. You know, there's guardrails in place, you know, and I'm sure Donald Trump would not have put this man in if he thought there was really a problem. So let's just play a few minutes of this. I think this is where he said that even Donald Trump talked to him recently and that kind of stuff. So let's just listen.
This is another big thing, and this could potentially come back to haunt you with these senators, even ones who like you, right? Because nobody wants, even if you're not an alcoholic, which I believe, you can't have somebody who's inebriated to the point where they need to be carried in from their hotel room, as alleged anonymously in these New York reports,
anonymously,
running the Pentagon. Like, you know that. So to the people who have read these reports talking about public inebriation and needing repeatedly to be carried into your hotel room at night, and even now there's an NBC report, anonymous, which oddly includes a Pentagon correspondent, which is very interesting to me. Why would a Pentagon, like, it does make me wonder whether some of their sources are wrong.
Well, maybe there's some people in the Pentagon that don't want me to be the Secretary of Defense.
In any event, that's a report that claims that some of our Fox News colleagues, former and current, are saying you showed up at Fox and went on the air intoxicated. So how do you respond to those reports?
Check the tape, first of all. I want to start where we began. I want to start my comment where we began this conversation. All of those allegations are anonymous. All of them are unsubstantiated. No one's putting their name on it. No one can point to an actual incident, an actual place, an actual piece of evidence. None of it. I was in my brother's house last night where I was talking about where did this allegation come of me being in a strip club? Mm-hmm. That's one of the things that's
in Louisiana that you were in a strip club, not just in the strip club, storming the stage.
On the stage. And I was just sitting there talking, end of the day. Where did this come from? And my brother and sister-in-law actually both worked with me at Concerned Veterans for America before she was my sister-in-law. They met. And they said, Pete, don't you know what happened there? I said, no. He goes, there was an incident at a strip club. Something happened that was addressed. You were nowhere near there. You weren't even at the event. You weren't even in the state. Yet someone has made us, there's so much information coming at us so fast that it's hard to digest it. You're being accused of something you weren't even at. So,
okay, so this isn't the right one, but this is interesting that he wasn't even there and they're accusing him of doing something. Let me see, because I saw there was another one where Trump actually was telling him basically to be a fighter and all that stuff. So let me see. I think these allegations are just kind of bogus, but let me see. I'm sorry. I thought I had the right one because I just finished the other one. It had something to do with where Trump was talking to him. Hold on. Sorry. I have to figure this out. Because he was okay, yeah, this one right here. This is the one I started this morning. So let me open this.
All right, so it's been an all-out assault since Trump named you.
No doubt.
I mean, from alleged rape allegations to allegations about your marriage to financial mismanagement allegations at your companies that you ran, your foundations, I should say. How's it going with Trump right now? Is he so far standing by you, and have you spoken to him?
I spoke to him this morning, Megyn. I mean, he's amazing. He's a fighter. He's been through this himself. And he told me the last thing he said to me, well, two things he said to me when I left his office when he chose me was, well, besides what he said about being a war fighter, we can get into that, was you're going to need to be tough as shit.
Wow.
You're going to need to be tough as shit. But he paused again as I was walking away and said, but you're the man for this moment. I chose you because you're the guy that's going to put the war fighters first. We haven't had that. we need a guy that's kicked down doors and understands the consequences of war and why us deterring war, fighting it, and winning it is important. He gets it. And we can get into the policy of all of that. But ultimately, he reiterated the same thing this morning. Hey, Pete, I got your back. It's a fight. They're coming after you. Get after it. I think he'll be delighted that we're talking today.
And it is weird that 7 years has passed since the so-called allegations, and they're just now like really coming back to the surface because he was nominated by Trump. Of course they're going to try to go after him. Why wouldn't they? And they even mentioned on here that he was being Kavanaugh'd. I've said that before. Brett Kavanaugh, as soon as he went in for the confirmation, Senate confirmation, all that for the Supreme Court, that's what they did. This Christine Blasey Ford or whatever. And then there was weird stuff on that. I didn't listen to the whole thing. I just heard little bits, pieces of it later. I really didn't care because, I wasn't that involved in the political sphere or whatever. But like this election has really pulled this out of me. Like I feel like this is the time that I feel like I should just start making these videos every single day, just posting my commentary, my reaction to it. Cause I've sat back for a while because it's like, people do attack you if you have a different thought than them or whatever. It's so stupid, but whatever. And nonetheless, it is weird that this is coming out 7, 8, almost 8 years later. And the report, if you read through it or listened to the video, it just sounds like she got caught cheating and then had to cover it up. But anyway, whatever. And then all the other stuff. But this is what they do. They do a smear campaign. I even showed the video with Nancy Pelosi and the wrap-up smear, where she explains what they do. They report on something, it gets reported to the media, leaked to the media, whatever, and then they manufacture it, wrap it all up, and then it sounds like it's true, something along those lines. So, anyway, but that's just what they do. It's all a smear campaign, and especially because the media at this point is nothing but an arm of the Democrat Party. They don't care about American people. They don't care about being unbiased. They have their bias, and they're going to keep running with that because for whatever reason, they think that the Democrat Party's above reproach, which they're not. And another thing, I was actually thinking about this right before I came on. Who are the Democrats to think that they have the moral high ground on any subject? They're the ones that would rather rip a baby to shreds in the womb. They would rather sterilize children in the name of transgender. I mean, they're the ones that want to open the border to people that we don't know who they are. They're breaking the law. That's immoral. It's lying. It's just totally going against our Constitution. I mean, we have laws in place for a reason. And without laws, you have anarchy and chaos. And people don't like that. And I think this election showed that people really don't like that. So anyway, I'll go back. But the Democrats have no morals. And they have no reason to sit up here and try to judge him for what he's done in his personal life. As long as it doesn't go into the business or the professional side of things, who cares? All of this is just alleged. Anyway, and of course, they have to do this to make him look bad so that he's disqualified according to them. Oh, please. Nobody would be able to have a position. Nobody. Something would come out of somebody's background or somebody's closet or whatever if we all got to digging into stuff. So don't act like that the Democrats have the monopoly on what's right and wrong, because they're probably just as bad as anybody else. If we really pointed the microscope at them or the magnifying glass at them, you see all kinds of nonsense. Yeah, with the insider trading and people having sex in the Senate room and all kinds of stuff, videotaping it. Give me a break. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Oh boy, let's just play this.
And we're going to do more talking because for so long, what was said about me, what has been said about me, it was so ridiculous and all anonymous that we didn't want to give it oxygen. You don't want to respond to things that don't merit response. And so we have it. But the sitting here with you and going forward, the media is driving with this ridiculous narrative. It's our time to stand up and tell the truth and our side. And he knows that. And so he supports me. I won't betray what we talked about specifically, but he said, you all meet those senators and I've got your back. It means a lot to me. Tells you who that guy is.
So you are meeting with them. Any open wobbliness there? How do you like your chances right now?
I mean, Donald Trump won overwhelmingly, 76 million votes. He's got 53 senators, all of which understand what the American people voted for. They voted for the change that Donald Trump is going to bring. And they knew in the picks that he's made, he's bringing in change agents. If you wanted another general or another admiral or an executive or a CEO or a politician or a lawyer to run the Defense Department, we've tried that before. He said, I want a warfighter. I want lethality, lethality, lethality. I want readiness, accountability, standards, warfighting. Pete, that's you, that's me, clean house of the woke crap. All that stuff, all the
Yes, the woke stuff is dead as far as I'm concerned. There should be no more of that in any institution in America. Get done with it. All this DEI nonsense. This has been the worst administration I've ever seen. And I haven't paid that much attention to politics for very many years. Not this close. But the Biden administration has been awful. Look, awful. They will go down as the worst. Opening the border, causing inflation, all the wars. 3 that I know of: Ukraine, Russia, Israel, Palestine, Taiwan, and China. China's doing all kinds of stuff. North Korea now is in an uproar of whatever. It's too much. That's just too much. And America wants to be this hegemony. We got to be the policeman of the world, and we got to control everybody else's stuff. But we're out of control here in America? Really? Really? Come on now. You want to police what everybody else does and tell people how they can do in their own countries, and you're fighting for democracy and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. And then we're helping other places with their democracy. Oh, okay. Yeah. Uh-huh. And we're falling to pieces here under this administration. Thank God Donald Trump got reelected, and it's going to get some of this nonsense turned around. I'm being serious. We dodged a major bullet. Not get without, or with electing Donald Trump. I'm saying we got rid of Kamala Harris. We turned the page. We got rid of it. We're going back to where things were good. Not going into socialism, communism, Marxism, whatever ism they wanted us to be in. Anyway, we definitely dodged a bullet keeping her out of office. So anyway, let's just watch a little more of this.
Climate stuff and the CRT and the DEI and the genderism and the trans. Get rid of it. Let's bring the Pentagon back to the people, the people's Pentagon for warfighters. And that's the message he gave to me that I've projected back to senators, and it resonates. When I get a chance to sit down, especially with these senators from the Senate Armed Services Committee, that's the committee I'm talking to. they care about the military
Yep.
a lot. They've run for office, spent their lives trying to invest in it. So the advise and consent process is a real thing. Like I'm hearing from these men and women, these senators who have great ideas, want to make sure that when I'm confirmed, we're able to implement them at the Defense Department.
They're worried about the military and the country and not necessarily your love life.
No.
Or your mom.
Or my mom, who did.
Well, and that's another, like I said, we're not here for all of this. He's not a moral leader here. He's going to be in charge of the Pentagon. He's not like going to come hang out with you on the weekend and be your buddy. He's got a job to do, and that's what he's going there for. So if he's got some stuff that he's had to deal with, as long as it don't come into the Pentagon, I wouldn't care. I mean, yeah, you want people with something, some type of morals, but if we had a morals clause in everything in the United States, nobody would be able to be a senator, a House of Representatives. I mean, like, seriously, you're telling me that these people think that everybody's perfect? Yeah, I don't think so. Not at all. I'm sure, like I said, some of those people have more skeletons in their closet than needs to be unearthed. So I would just, yeah. Anyway, let's just read a little or listen a little bit more. And then I'll cut this off and then just put the full video link in the description.
Did a fantastic job on Fox.
We're going to show some of it.
If we all went back 7 years, we would see that maybe we were not the people we are today. And I'm sure many of you across the country understand how difficult divorce is on a family. There's emotions. We say things. And I wrote that in haste. I wrote that with deep emotions. I wrote that out of love. And about 2 hours later, I retracted it with an apology email, but nobody's seen that. I want to say something about the media. And part of today is to discredit the media and how they operate. When they contact you, I let a few phone calls go, but then they call you and say they threaten you. That's the first thing they do.
Right.
They say, unless you make a statement, we will publish it as is. And I think that's a despicable way to treat anyone. Threats are dangerous. I don't think the way you operate it feels almost criminal when reporters call you and threaten you. I don't think a lot of people know that's the way they operate. And they don't care who they hurt, families, children.
By the way, that you'd be surprised how little that has come up. Now, when they ask, I answer candidly. I don't answer these questions to the hyenas in the hallway trying to chirp at my wife and I as we walk down the hallway. I don't owe them an answer. I owe an answer to the members of the United States Senate who are going to vote for a confirmation here. And my meetings with them have been fantastic. No one has looked me in the eye and say, I have concerns and I can't vote for you. In fact, most have said, let's take a picture and I'm behind you all the way.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. If that's really what's going to happen, I do hope he does get confirmed. I think he would do good in the position. I mean, who cares about all this other stuff that's being alleged? We don't even know if it's true or not. So just because some anonymous sources and some lady comes out 7 years later with something, or it's alleged 7 years later, whatever. Who cares? Really? I mean, like I said, we're not hiring him to be a moral, spiritual leader. He's going to be over the Pentagon, people. So anyway, I think I'm going to stop it there. Like I said, I'll link the full Megyn Kelly episode. That way I don't get dinged for anything, hopefully, because I got dinged for something on Fox and I'm like, okay, fine. But yeah, I will go ahead and stop this. I'll talk to y'all later and see y'all around. Bye.